thing that the enemy tried to get you into, which are part of his lies, is bitterness. Bitterness. To be bitter is to lose sweetness, to become coarse. If you read the story in Genesis chapter number 34 from verse 1, there's a very interesting story there that stretched down to Genesis chapter number 49. You see the consequence of that story. In Genesis 34 verse 1, Bible says that, and Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. You know the story. Shechem, all right, the son of the king of the land, that's Ammon, saw that girl. The Bible said he took her, he lay with her, and defiled her. Now, this was the daughter of Jacob that reference was made to. And in that lineage, in the Abrahamic lineage, it's a very big deal. So Jacob gathered her brothers and went to see the father of the boy who had defiled the girl. Unlike the story of Amnon and Tamar, this boy took responsibility. He said, I did it. I did it. I love her. I'm sorry that was the approach, but I did it. Now, Jacob said, I've heard. You can marry her, but we don't give our children to infidels. All the males in your kingdom must be circumcised. At that age, you know what they did? They agreed. They agreed. While all this conversation was going on, Simon and Levi were there. They were watching. The moment they circumcised, do you know what circumcision is? When they circumcise you, you can't hold sword. True? You relax, you calm down. True? Talk to me, you're looking at me strangely. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, you don't have to look carnal. There's no problem. When thou get circumcised, thou shalt be still, and thou shalt know that he is the Lord. Thou gettest me? Oh, Allah. All right. So when they saw that those guys couldn't do anything, they went out and took advantage of their vulnerability and killed them. In Genesis 49, when Jacob was speaking about them, he said, let the instrument of cruelty dwell with them. He said, cursed is their anger, because with them dwells the instrument of cruelty. Now, anger is bad, but now he cursed it, meaning that this anger becomes an accursed tool in your hands. That anger was what stopped Moses, because it was a cursed one. Moses had tried. God had said that there's none on the face of the earth that is as meek as him. Just about the time, one of these days I will take my time to show you the journey of the Israelites. They were close. They were so close. Just at the verge of get to the promised land, they were crying for water again. At that point, it's God enough. God said, speak to the rock. He struck the rock, and water came out. And God said, you have not sanctified me before them. When I read that story, my heart sank. God said, take Aaron. He said, both of you, you are not going to get there. He said, take Aaron to the top of the mountain. Strip him of the priestly garment of honor that I give him, and I will take his life. And they removed the priestly garment of all the precious stones, and he dropped dead. And then God told Moses, now stand from where you are. Look at the promised land there. You won't get there. Why? It gets to a point that the heart has faced so much, and you don't know that you have become bitter. You have lost taste. You are not giving the usual flavor. You said you are forgiven, but the taste has changed. Are you there? Bitterness is real. I showed you when I taught on dealing with the root of bitterness, so you have to listen to that teaching again. The story of Amnon, Tamar, and Absalom. How that when Amnon raped Tamar, Tamar went to Absalom, and Absalom never said a word for 2 years. Kept quiet. They were seen at different feasts, didn't say a word. The Bible said he didn't speak to him good or bad. And after 2 years were complete. Have you seen people that like to serve? They say vengeance is best served cold. He called for a feast. He said, let the sons of the king gather. I want to hold the feast. He wanted his father to be there. But David couldn't make it. He wanted to kill that boy. But he wanted the father to see his blood spill. And he told his servant, he said, when he's drunk and he's merry, strike him dead. I've commanded you to do so. And they killed the boy. All right, then he ran. Then he called Ahithophel to join camp with him. He called Ahithophel David's best advisor. Why? Because he knew that Ahithophel was the father of Eliam, and Eliam was the father of Bathsheba. Bathsheba was the girl that David slept with and killed her husband. So he knew when people are bitter, they know those whose cases have not been settled, and they recruit them. The bitter recruits the bitter. Let me tell you something. If you want to know those who are bitter, check those who are bitter like to talk to. Anybody who is bitter will not talk to you until they see that there is something you have in common. Bitterness recruits bitterness. That's why we must not sweep matters under the carpet. Because one day to be recruited. Are you following what I'm saying here? And what did Ahithophel say? What did he say when that boy went to call him? Ahithophel said, this is my counsel. Sleep with your father's concubines on top of his house there. That same place where he saw my daughter and my grandchild and did it. Do the same thing there. Okay? And then Ahithophel gave a master plan. You see, go and read. The plan that Ahithophel gave Absalom, if he had done it, David will die. But God interrupted it. Because sometimes, you see, there's an unjust part of mercy. That mercy, he said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy on. And compassion on whom I will have. So once a man has found mercy, they are difficult to be fought. That the covenant of mercy will just speak for them, and whether they are guilty or not, regardless, for this moment you can't win. And that doesn't mean you are less than God's child too. But this is mercy speaking here. When David saw that Ahithophel, he said, God, please turn away the counsel of Ahithophel. David knew how strategic the man was. And when Ahithophel saw that they didn't give his counsel, he felt embarrassed that me, have I fallen this bad? He went to hang himself. Bitterness always leads people to early grave. At the end of the day, the bitter doesn't win. At the end of the day. It doesn't matter how painful the matter is. The only way for you not to be cheated twice is to forgive. That's the only way. The only way for you not to be cheated twice is to what? forgive.